Hello everybody, welcome back to EAFC with the Aston Villa career mode, and we are diving straight into this episode. The January transfer window is open. This is part 2, and we have been doing some moves with the squad. If you haven't seen part 1, go check it out. It was the last episode, but we have bought in Arda Güler, he has joined, and we have also bought in Cameron Archer as well. Now, if you're not familiar with this, a quick overview of this: we are playing with official registration rules. So we have to meet the criteria for the Premier League and the Champions League. We have a spreadsheet which is tracking it and tracking all of our funds and how much we spent and things like that. But yeah, so we are limited. Hence why Cameron Archer has been bought back from Southampton. Now he is going to be going on to the bench. It's just, who's he going to replace? We've got 2 left wingers, a right winger, centre mid training to be winger or can play striker as well, as we found out, centre back, holding mid or centre mid, and a right back who we need to play right or left back. Now I think we could sacrifice Kamara, say Bellingham is our central midfield backup, and Arda Güler, and I think that's what we're going to do. Although Kamara is very good, he's fallen out of favour with me. Redondo is very mobile, very athletic, really like him in there. And Onana is tall, pretty good at passing, very good defending and physical nature as well. They're 2 very more defensive-minded people because we prefer to chuck Mudryk and Rodgers forward down the wing, and we've got Big Ferguson and Duran up front. And obviously our big money signing from last summer, Openda, is still out injured. I think he's about 3 weeks away from coming back. So we have got some issues in the squad that we need to solve, but I'm not looking to strengthen any more. I think we're in a pretty good position with how January is looking and how the squad is looking. We are down in 4th. We've been on a bit of a bad run recently. With Openda being out, he was basically our top goal scorer, and with him being out, we have struggled a little bit more. But you can see 3 points off 3rd with the game in hand, 6 points off Arsenal in 2nd. We've got a game in hand on them as well, and 11 points behind Man City, who are dominating this season. So if we dive into the calendar, we can have a quick look. Coming up next then, we've got Burnley, we've got Anderlecht, we've got Brighton, we've got Dortmund, and we've got Everton on deadline day to see out January. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to sim Burnley in the Premier League, we're going to sim Anderlecht, we're then going to play Brighton. We're going to, are we? This is the question, because of deadline day, this episode could potentially be longer. We're going to sim these first 3 games, and then we're going to play Dortmund and Everton. That is what we're going to do. We're going to play the 2 home games in the month. Now, we don't normally sim this many games if you're new to this series. We are normally... what's the assistant manager going on about now? Bloody hell. Player returns from loan. Oh, yes, I recalled Oliver Stewart back from loan, and he got a very nice boost. I didn't know that was a thing in Football Manager, EAFC. Talking of Football Manager, go and check out the other channel, Cultured Left Foot. There's a huge Football Manager stuff going on over there. At the moment, we've got a European Journeyman save going on, and that is bloody good fun, to be honest. Right, we're going to go with this team. We are going to quick sim this one against Burnley. We're at home, should get a win, 3-0. Ferguson getting a goal, Bailey and Onana coming in the 85th minute. Did Cameron Archer get his debut? No, he didn't. Nothing happened in the first half. Amazing. So Cameron Archer still awaiting his debut for Aston Villa. Obviously a homegrown youth academy product in there, but that is a cracking 3 points on the board. Next up, we'll be simming Anderlecht in the Champions League. So Piers Charles, who we bought in last season as a backup goalkeeper, has left to go to Swansea. We actually made a little loss on that, but we have got Martinez, we've got Stewart. That's why we called Stewart back, because I knew that was happening. And yeah, some other offers. We are getting a few offers for different players. Let's see. Feeney might actually move to, is that Huddersfield? That could be a good chance for him to go. So we've got a few youngsters potentially going out and seeing what's going to happen. We are on match day for Anderlecht. I think against Anderlecht we are going to give Cameron Archer his debut for the club. Fresneda can come in at right back for Elias Yalert. Branthwaite can have a rest for Konza. We'll give Arda Güler a run as well. We'll just swap those 2 over, because I've got the right hand side is the box to box. No, hang on. So yeah, Güler is the playmaker. We'll bring in Leon Bailey on the right, and we'll bring on Ramsey. Still sort of in real life would be recovering from his massive injury, right? So we'll go from that. So a little bit of rotation in there for this one. I don't want them to bring on Branthwaite at all, so we'll drop him down to the bench. Oh, we need to call up a young centre-back if we sell Feeney. So that's next on the agenda for the youth academy, would be centre-backs we need to look into, because We are trying to keep this as realistic sort of as possible, and it's a 2-1 win over Anderlecht. Cameron Archer got sent off on his return to the club, but Pau Torres scored in the 89th minute to win it for us after Archer had scored. So a very eventful re-debut for Cameron Archer with a red card and a goal, but not the most ideal way to endear yourself back to the Aston Villa fans, getting sent off. Brilliant. So Russell Bird goes on loan to Cardiff for 2 years. That's a loan to buy. He's not going to progress to be anything great. So a 50-50 wage coverage there. They're going to buy him off us at the end of the season. That's a young goalkeeper we called up. We're calling up some youngsters that we can just try and sell to try and help us get through the objective. So this will be the final sim game of the episode. It looks like Duran may need a rest. So we'll bring in Archer and we'll see if he can bag another goal but not get another red card. That would be quite helpful if he kept all of our players on the pitch. Ardegoulet a little bit tired as well, but I think a place on the bench is fine for him. I think we go with that. Yeah, let's just go with that. We'll try and pick up a good win here. Cameron Archer up front. It's a 1-0 loss as Jorginho Ruter gets the goal for Brighton, which is very irritating. They pick up a hope of changes. Nothing happened for us. No substitutes. No yellow cards. They scored from 2 shots. We had 4 and didn't score. That is infuriating. Obviously not been paying too much attention to Man City's results. There's still plenty of football to play. At the moment, I think we're still sort of like it's the top 4 we need, and that's what we're holding on for. But we will come back for the game against Borussia Dortmund, which is coming up next. Here we are then at Villa Park, back for Champions League action as Borussia Dortmund, the German Giants, visit Birmingham for this Champions League game. We'll be going through the lineups very soon, but the atmosphere here is rocking, and it looks like both teams are up for this one. As the final pleasantries get underway then, Aston Villa lining up in a 4-4-2 with the only change from the normal lineup being that Jacob Ramsey comes back in at left wing. It's Onana and Redondo back in the middle with Ferguson and Duran up front. The red card for Cameron Archer in the last game against Anderlecht rules him out of this one entirely. He is replaced on the subs bench by Boubacar Kamara. Aston Villa will be hoping to continue their good form in the Champions League, picking up 2 wins in their last 2 games of Champions League football. And it's a pretty settled 11 for them as well, with Unai Emery picking this squad. The next game they've got coming up is Everton on deadline day. Not expecting too many transfers in for Aston Villa, but there could be a few names out. Borussia Dortmund are going to be wearing their away white kit. They do have one big name player starting for them up front, and that is going to be Antoine Griezmann. He's 1 yellow card away from a ban, but Adeyemi is going to be on the left. Kobel in goal, Schlotterbeck, the giant at centre-back, Schaefer and Zubamendi in the middle. Brandt is playing in behind Griezmann, Campbell on the right, and Adeyemi, whose pace Aston Villa will have to be wary for, starting on the left. And it is Aston Villa that get the game underway. They will be praying that Openda is back from injury a little bit sooner than anticipated, because they have surely missed him. Form in the Premier League has dropped off a little bit compared to the high standards they were having before. But, well, Mudryk's in a bit of space here, and he's got Evan Ferguson at the back post. He tries to drift it out, nodded back down into space. Onana! Oh, what a volley just past the post. What a start for Aston Villa. Mudryk looks in field, picks out Redondo. He's just got a little bit of busybodies in front of him. I couldn't think of the right word, so I went for busybodies. Redondo out to Mikhailo Mudryk, just on this corner edge again. Oh, that is absolutely terrible from Mikhailo. I tried to do a bit of skill and I booted it out of play. Duran turns, looks through to Evan Ferguson, who has pulled away from his man, Ferguson, and he's cut inside really well. Ferguson with a shot. Oh my God, I can't get my words out. Ferguson with a shot, Kobel with a good save, and Mudryk will line up the corner here. And he swings in a decent corner. It's easy for Campbell to head away at that near post. It's going to fall to Branthwaite, obviously up there from the corner. Out to Elias Yalert. Good first touch, really, to get that out of his feet. And Elias Yalert, oh, Ferguson gave me a good run. Couldn't quite get the pass right. Adeyemi will look to break with his pace. Or Griezmann could be, and it's a really good ball from Brandt, and Griezmann scores 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. And Antoine Griezmann, the big money buy with his big wavy, for some reason, jet black hair, which I'm pretty sure Antoine Griezmann doesn't have. But it's a lovely goal, lovely finish. Julian Brand with a wonderful little ball through, just as that little bit of a sort of lack of anticipation from Pau Torres, a little bit of... I just wasn't sure whether to come or go and mark Griezmann, but a lovely left-footed drive. Martinez from that range hasn't really got any hope. 1-0 Dortmund. Ramsey looks for Kieran Tierney, who's done very well to find a bit of space here. Tierney does swing it in, but The Borussia Dortmund defence is so tall. It's not going to be easy to beat them in the air in this game, which is annoying because it's a game plan we like to impose with Duran and Ferguson up front. We may have to be a little bit more intricate in this game, and potentially it might see Arda Güler get a run out up front, which is what he did in the Carabao Cup game for his debut. That's a good win from Branthwaite. Redondo massively overhits that one. That will be a goal kick. Elias Alert, great ball down the line to Rakis. Mikhailo Mudryk. Mudryk into the area, but Anton read it. Oh, they're just playing so well at the back, Dortmund, and they're keeping the ball really well as they go forward. We're just struggling to win it back in a good position, although we've done well there as Redondo picks this one up. Looks up towards Ferguson. Good hold-up play from him. Elias Alert picks out Mudryk again. And Mudryk is trying to dink this one in. Schlotterbeck is there. Really good header away. And that's the sort of run of the play at the moment. We may have to work the ball into the box, to quote Football Manager. Duran dinks it over the top to Mudryk again, who's got into a bit of space. Mikhailo Mudryk, and he's actually held this one up. And he goes back to Jean Duran. Good block from Schaefer, but yeah, we created an actual shooting opportunity with that chance there as Julian Brandt looks to release Griezmann, who's got the footwork to get away from one. Elias Alert defends it well. Rierson's pushed forward here, and he's got into a bit of space. The Brazilian. Rierson into the area, drags Branthwaite out to match him. Campbell looking to create some space, but Tierney's done really well. And a good ball up to Duran, up to Ferguson, who holds it up well. Onana pokes that one through, and Ramsey's going to get there. And just before half-time, we may get a chance here. Duran runs offside. Ramsey's still going. Still going, Ramsey. Tries to cut it back. Nobody on the penalty spot. And that will probably see us through to half-time. It does. 1-0 Dortmund at Villa Park. So one change at the break for the home team. Arda Güler comes on to replace Evan Ferguson. His height wasn't really giving us the advantage it normally does. His height and his aerial prowess, because he does have power header. So Arda Güler comes on up front. We're going to go for a little bit more nimble pace and technical ability rather than sort of battering ram approach in this second half. We'll see what Arda Güler can do. Ramsey releases Tierney, and John Duran's given us a good bit of movement up front. Can't really accelerate away, and we're just going to try. I was going to say try and hold on to the ball and keep it going backwards, but Campbell read it. Yeah, but Dortmund are just making me chase shadows. They're keeping the ball so well. I do like that about EAFC. That this year it does seem to feel like the teams you come up against do play different sorts of football. As Redondo wins that header, I then tried to get the ball back to him, but he's actually stayed down injured. I think he's holding his shoulder or his elbow. We'll have to wait and see as Mudryk wins the ball back. Is Redondo back on his feet? I think he is, but he's not. He's moving a bit gingerly. He's not running back as much as he normally does. Number 18 back in position now. We'll have to have a look as Real Madrid have taken the lead in their game. Can Tierney win that header? No. Rierson's there, and he's going to be through because I committed Tierney to the header. Oh, the back heel didn't quite work. Ramsey, Redondo is injured and does have a knock here. As Onana gives him a bit of movement. Poor pass. I think Redondo has to come off. So Villa have given away a free kick. We're going to use that for a whole host of changes. It's actually a whole new midfield. Bailey, Philogen, Kamara and Bellingham replace Onana, Redondo, Mudryk and Ramsey. Oh, Adeyemi's used his pace really well, and he's going to accelerate away from Branthwaite. Good save from Martinez. Our new midfield just were absolutely bypassed there. We've made all the subs in midfield for fresh legs and just couldn't get it to work. Julian Brandt and Griezmann have hooked up so well, in this, not just from this corner, but in this game in total. They have done a really good job of combining as Duran looks up towards Güler. Couldn't quite get the first touch right as I pinged that really hard into his feet. But yeah, if we can just nick an equaliser, just get a bit of... Oh, Adeyemi's pace again. Adeyemi's pace, great save Martinez. He's becoming into his own in this. 20 minutes to go. They make their first change. It looked like it was Sabitzer, yeah, coming on for Campbell. So he'll be playing on that left unless they make a little change. The header goes past the post. Julian Brand in a bit of space. Dortmund are controlling this game very easily. Jaden Philogen couldn't get to that loose ball. Griezmann lays it off to Adeyemi, twisting and turning. Good block from Pau Torres. Branthwaite does get there and gets a touch on the ball. And here comes Leon Bailey, who's been complaining about a lack of minutes. So let's see what he can do now he's given the opportunity. Jaden Philogen leaves it off to Duran. Tierney can come forward. There's not too many people in the box, so we're just going to have to try and keep hold of this. John Duran does do that. Into Joe Bellingham. Back to Kamara again. Let's have some runners, please, boys. Tierney is there for a run. He's going to just lay that one back to Jaden, and the momentum of the move has sort of gone It does go into Joe Bellingham, looking to turn his man. Kamara gives it into Arda Güler. Arda Güler, great turn, but his shot's blocked. And that is what we do get with Arda Güler, that nimble footwork. Kamara finds Güler into Duran. Duran, that's meant to go out to Bailey, not go back to Güler. Bailey was in so much space. But with like 5 minutes to go, we're just starting to get a foothold in the game. I don't think we're going to have enough about us to find an equaliser. I think Griezmann's offside. He is. We've got potentially one last chance here. Jadon Philligan has got the pace and he's got away from his man. He's done really well. John Duran just has to stay onside and he's not done that. Jadon Philligan, his little pass back was blocked. So Bits will bring this away. There's like 1 minute to go. There was just no good runs up front. We really are missing Openda. Even Cameron Archer would have been good in this game for a bit more pace up front. Arda Güler is good on the ball, but he doesn't offer you pace and running in behind. And that is something we really need in this team with the way we play. And that's it. 1-0 Dortmund. So after the excursions of a midweek Champions League game, Aston Villa are back in Premier League action, hosting Everton at Villa Park, hoping to put the demons of that Borussia Dortmund game behind them. A couple of changes in Unai Emery's side. We'll get into the lineups in just a minute. So as the pyrotechnics go off around Villa Park, the fans are ready, the players are just about ready, and the officials are getting there as well. This should be an entertaining game. Aston Villa come into this one as strong favourites. Unai Emery will be lining up in his 4-4-2 like normal. Martinez will be in goal, club captain after the sale of John McGinn earlier in the window. The back four sees Konza come in for Branthwaite, Fresneda come in for Kieran Tierney. Ferguson is partnered by Cameron Archer up front and Jude Bellingham partners Onana in midfield, with Arda Güler starting on the left-hand side of a midfield four. Everton are lining up in a 4-2-3-1 managed by Sean Dyche. They're lining up with Jonas Erbig in goal, Tarkowski and O'Brien at the back with Patterson and De Kuyper, Garner and Fagoli in there, Marmouche up front, Diallo on the left and Bayern Gittens on the right, with Igor Pacquiao sitting behind Marmouche. So the game gets underway with the away team kicking us off in Everton's white kit is what they're playing in, as Pacquiao looks to get them on the front foot straight away. Patterson gets Amad Diallo in, who scored the goal for Everton last time these two teams played, and he looks like he's going to be a bit of a handful from the off. But a good tackle there from Ezri Konza back into the first team gets Aston Villa on their way, as that ball from Arda Güler does find Cameron Archer back after his suspension against Dortmund. It was mentioned by Unai Emery in a press conference that they really could have done with Cameron Archer in that game, and he was a bit stupid for getting that red card. That's a good layoff for Joe Bellingham. Oh, what a hit, and Erbig. Really good save from the goalkeeper, if I remember rightly as well. He had an amazing game last time we played Everton. Corner comes in, Pau Torres attacks it, but he's not going to get on the end of that one. Konza is there. Back it goes out to Mudryk. Early cross towards the back post. It's going to fall here for Arda Güler, who's got into a good bit of space. That's a really good tackle from Patterson, and Aston Villa starting this one as if they want to wrong the rights of that game against Dortmund. Joe Bellingham header down into the ground. It bounces over the bar. Here is Bayern Gittens on the edge. What a shot. Martinez, big save. Amad Diallo did some great fancy footwork on the wing to create the space for the shot for Bayern Gittens, as De Kuyper just comes in and absolutely takes that off the shin of Mudryk. But Mudryk is not winning it back. He's putting a good challenge. Interesting to see how Bellingham gets on partnering Onana in there. He's in for Redondo, who's out for 5 days with a bruised shoulder. So interesting to see how this man Joe Bellingham gets on in today's game. As he's lost the ball there to Bayern Gittens, and it's going to launch Pacquiao in potentially a counter-attack. Marmouche just showed too much of the ball to Konza, and we can bring this one away with Mykhailo Mudryk. Good little cut inside. Up it goes to Ferguson. We've not seen too much of Cameron Archer just yet. That ball's fired into his feet there from Arda Güler, from Onana, sorry, as Arda Güler now comes forward. Nice little Cruyff turn to create some space for himself. Onana's there, flicked on one more. Bellingham's on it again. It's a drive straight at Erbig, but he is picking up some good places, Joe Bellingham. Joe Bellingham on it again, fires it into Cameron Archer, turns, gets a shot off Archer. Not too far wide. 23 minutes gone. Villa just turning the screw. So Emi Martinez with a good save from a Marmouche long-range drive. It's the first corner of the game for Everton. Oh, and O'Brien got underneath it, Jake O'Brien, but it's over the bar. Marmouche on the edge of the box, holds it up. Great tackle from Konza to win it back. And here is Onana coming forward. He's got Fresneda making a good run over on that side. We can't really get Arda Güler's passing ability going in this game. I've put him out there for potential crosses into the box to try and hit out Ferguson, but they're actually marking him really well. Onana into Bellingham, just holds off the man, and we're pushing Fresneda on so much that he's sort of interacting with Goulet a bit too much. Goulet does have a bit of space now. That's the cross. Ferguson with a header. He was offside, but that's the danger that we want Goulet to supply. Ferguson going to be this one, but Tarkowski wins the header. Onana can bring it down well, obviously playing against his former club. Arda Goulet getting much more involved in the action now, the young Turkish man, and that's such a bad pass from Joe Bellingham. What was I thinking? I knew that was going to happen as well. As Marmoush with some good control, but just crowded out of it. Everton can't get men up there to support him, really. Mudryk comes forward with it. Little shimmy to try and create some space. He's been forced wide. And Mudryk does Cruyff turn very well. Elias Yalert, little back heel. Joe Bellingham. There is Onana on the edge. Oh, Fagoli got out to him. Good block. Onana striding forward from midfield. A good run here from the midfielder. Mudryk back to Bellingham. Bellingham on the edge. Bellingham shot again. They're just taking a little bit too long to get the shot off, which is allowing the likes of Tarkowski and his defensive partners to just get the blocks in as Pacquiao comes forward. He is a tricky little customer, but Pau Torres reads him very well. We're into the final minute of the first half. Archer, who we've really not seen enough of in this game. We might switch him and Ferguson over in terms of positions they're playing in. I think Cameron Archer may suit the advance forward a bit better than the poacher. We have made a change at half-time, one a lot of you probably weren't expecting. We've brought on Ramsey for Onana, who was doing okay in the game, not setting the world alight, but we've moved Arda Güler into central midfield, try and take advantage of his fantastic passing ability that he's got, and see if we can create a few more chances utilising Arda Güler in a bit of a playmaker role. As here is Goulet. Oh, that's lovely. He's absolutely sent that defender for a hot dog. Goulet. Oh, his shot wasn't great. Mudryk. Oh, his first touch was awful. But immediately, Arda Güler showing that flair that he's got. That's a lovely turn from Marmoush there. Luckily, he's not the fastest of strikers. He's a bit more of a target man. And Pau Torres had enough ability to get back at him as Ramsey goes up towards Ferguson, who has switched positions with Archer. We've moved Ferguson to the left and Archer over to the right as an advance forward. I mean, we are on top of this game and we probably should be winning, but that you just know that's when EAFC will give a goal against you, right? They'll make it even harder for you to score when you probably should be winning. Ramsey into Arda Güler, just manages to not sneak that one through to Bellingham. Arda Güler finds Bellingham again. No, that's not where I wanted that pass to go. Come on now, game. Don't start cheating me out of passes and thinking that I'm pressing different directions. As Konza's done well. Konza's a great defender. We had a bid of like 30 million from Liverpool for him. I said no. I was never going to accept that. Arda Güler. Ferguson knocks that one back to the substitute Ramsey. He can find Bellingham in a bit of space. Bellingham puts that one through to Archer. Archer, I press shoot. Oh, game, don't do this to me. Don't start doing this with input delay and things like that. That's just not on. Arda Güler comes forward. A few little step overs, but Fagioli won't fall for that. It's a free kick given to Everton. It's never a free kick. We've got the ball. Nothing really in it. It's a dangerous one as well, as Amad Diallo is replaced by Unai. And James Garner steps over the ball. A good hit. It's a great goal from De Kuyper. It's a wonderful free kick, and Everton have smashed and grabbed their way to a 1-0 lead. So De Kuyper's wonderful free kick means we do get a chance to make a sub at least. Bailey on to replace Mudryk, not been in the game today at all. But yeah, we're just struggling at the moment, aren't we? We really are struggling to pick up wins, and it's all gone downhill since Openda got injured as Marmoush looks to get away. Konza again with some good defending. Joe Bellingham gives it off to Arda Güler, back to Ramsey, just trying to get a bit more movement in the team, as that's better football. Ramsey squares it into Ferguson. Ferguson's shot is blocked by Tarkowski again. Arda Güler, Joe Bellingham in loads of space. Joe Bellingham with a drive, what a finish! Joe Bellingham hard and low into the corner, and finally Aston Villa have that goal that they deserve. And it's an assist for Arda Güler. But finally a little bit of movement off the ball from the midfield and the wingers pulling other players apart. Joe Bellingham with a lovely drive. And we're going to see from this utter bullshit camera angle of POV, but it's a lovely drive into the bottom corner. 1-1. Arda Güler with a bit of space again, just gives it off to Bellingham. Back to Güler, lots of space out wide, and Güler finds Bailey. Into Bellingham again, he can turn. Arda Güler, oh, that's a really good tackle from Fagioli as I tried to put the ball through, and Everton just playing on the counter but can't get out. We've been the better team. It's another free kick. This referee has given some very, very soft fouls against us, to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed with the refereeing in this game. That is awful. We'll take that with Cameron Archer, and he could be through. The sprint didn't quite work. I wanted him to really knock it out in front and then burn the defender for pace. We've wasted a glorious chance there. So just over 10 minutes to go. Kieran Tierney on for Fresneda. Duran, who is tired, is going to come on for Ferguson. See if he can be a bit of a super sub for us like he is in real life. Or known as in real life for Aston Villa. Actually hasn't scored, I don't think, for a while off the subs bench. But yeah, those sort of tags don't leave the squad, do they? Joe Bellingham into Duran. Oh, that's a great ball from Archer into Duran, but just again couldn't get it out of his feet. Just a bit of rustiness on my part, I think. I haven't played for a few days, and you do lose a bit of rhythm for EAFC and FIFA as they've just bundled their way through on that side. Good tackle from Leon Bailey, and of course we've got deadline day coming up after this as well. Let's see if we're going to go in to get deadline day with a win, a loss, or a draw. That's a good tackle. Arda Goulet is going to pick this one up as Duran is there, just trying to twist and turn. They can't create the space. Oh, they've got a man over. They've got a man over, and it's NDI who is pretty decent in front of goal. Great save, Martinez. He's pushed it wide as well, which is lovely. Oh, there's a little cutback. Martinez again. What a save. 5 minutes to go. That very could have easily have been 2-1 to Everton. And we've got Cameron Archer dead on his feet out there, but we're going to have to leave him in. They've given that ball straight to Elias Yalert, which is very, very nice of them. And we've got a man that's pulled off wide. Have we managed to sneak that one through? No, Patterson watched it and defended it well. Oh, Duran has stolen the ball. He's stolen it off Tarkowski. John Duran, this could be it. Duran, yes, right in the top corner. 4 minutes to go. And John Duran, the super sub, has made it. And one of our Colombian supporters is going to absolutely love that. John Duran fires it as soon as on that left foot. I was proper going for it. Fires it into the top corner. It's a wonderful goal and the celebrations match it. It is superb. Stole it off Tarkowski, who's been so good for Everton today, but just rifled it into that top corner. Keeper's got no chance. 2-1 Villa. Come on. Oh, Marmoush could be in to make it 2-2. He does. He does. I pulled the wrong defender out of position. It left Marmoush free, and it's 2-2 here at Villa Park. Joe Bellingham. John Duran in a bit of space. Again, holds this one up. Picks out Ramsey. Ramsey to Bellingham. Oh, his first touch was just a bit bouncy and heavy. And I think that's going to be that. It's going to be 2-2. What a dramatic end to this game we've had here. As Picquiao comes forward. He's still got the ball. Referee should really blow for full time here. Marmoush twisting and turning. Holds it up. Joe Bellingham's there. It is full time. 2-2. We should have won. Oh, a shit bit of defending from me. That was a game where it felt like everything was against me. So a disappointing end to that game, but we do go into the deadline day as Diaz is rumoured to be joining Inter Milan, Van Bommel to Liverpool, Otara going to Spurs. So as I said, yeah, Redondo's out for 5 days, so we're not too worried about him. I do think we could do with a very good central midfielder. I know we've got Kamara in there, but we'll have to wait and see. We've got an email from the chief exec. Youngsters still not leaving the club. That's still a bug in this game. I don't think we've got any offers at the moment. We've got Josh Feeney potentially going. What have we got? Received offers. Feeney potentially going. But yeah, these youngsters just... I accept bids on them and then they just don't move. And it's very, very irritating. We'll accept that one for Feeney as well. He can shimmy on out the door if he so wants to. But he'll probably reject all of them, to be honest. But 8 hours to go. There are no massive rumours sort of affecting us at the moment. We'll just keep checking in here to see that we don't miss any bids on our players. As Delo is rumoured to go to Atletico Madrid. Diaz has moved. He has gone as... So that, I think, Man City sold Gvardiol as well as someone. Camavinga moves to PSG for £114 million. That is a big old deal. Right, Matthews has got another offer on him, which we will accept, and he will turn down because youngsters don't move in this game. For some reason, they think they're going to get a better deal at Aston Villa when we're definitely not going to play them. As yeah, what else we got? Palacios potentially into Man United. Camavinga still stands as the biggest deal of the day. 114.4 million in January is absolutely huge. As with 4 hours to go, we've got a couple of offers here. Konza to Juventus. Wow, 33.4. I'm going to reject it because he's such a good centre-back to have in our team. 2.2 million for Costi. Oh, that's... We're going to negotiate this one. If we can get like 3 million, I'll probably take it. More offers for Konza, but one of them's for Athletic Bilbao, so we'll definitely reject that because it's not realistic. And McDermott probably won't go, even though we'll accept that clause. And we've got Hall on loan. Yes, you can take Hall for a short-term loan. I don't mind that at all. He's not really playing for us, and he doesn't really affect our registration quota because he's a homegrown under-21 youth academy prospect. So, but we do have someone with really bad hair leaving. Oh, that's Costi. He has agreed a move to West Ham, £2.45 million, which should now see off our objective as well, because he came from the youth team and we've now sold him. So, yeah, look, all of these... Why don't the youngsters go? It's so annoying. Literally, to get youngsters out of the squad, you've either got to let their contract run down or just release them. But we'll have a quick check of that, of the objectives. I think it was under financial, right? That one. Make 2.55 profit. Brilliant. We're 96% there. We just need to sell one more youth academy player if he'll bugger off to another Premier League team. That would be very helpful because they're the only clubs that they seem to move to. We're not going to do it because we're not going to have enough time in January, but unless one of those other players somehow agrees to go. Again, offers for Matthews, yeah, I'll accept it. He'll turn them down. He won't move. Have we got any other news in here? Chief executive, McDermott won't move. We've called him up to try and sell him, but he's not having it. That is the end of deadline day. We have not made any deals. We've not had any big outs. So I'm quite happy with how that all ended up, as Feeney has got another offer that we'll accept, and he'll probably turn them down. But I don't think there's anything else. 3 unread emails, transfer window closed, Hall loan rejected, and Matthews transfer talks end. Because this game, for some reason, doesn't allow youngsters to move. They're just not interested in going. However, what the sale of Costi has done has left a space at left back. So we have Souza, who is transferless, but his contract's expiring in 5 months. And we do want a different backup. And I feel like we've got quite a good left back in our team. Berger, I think, is the one. 61 rated overall, 83 to 89. He is there as the next sort of fullback to be called up, so we will be calling him up to replace Costi in there. So there's no need to show you the spreadsheet. We didn't sign anyone else. We know that everybody and all the registrations are legal. That is the end of January. We'll be back for February, which will hopefully be a little bit calmer in terms of the month happening. We are playing Juventus twice. What is that, the knockouts? No, it can't be knockouts. We're only in February's the group stage. Why are we playing Juventus twice? That doesn't make sense. View fixture. Oh, it is the knockouts. We are into the knockouts already. We've got Juventus in the Champions League knockouts. Okay. Right. Who else is in? Who else is still in it then? Barca, Olympic Lyonnais, Juventus, Villa, Athletic Bilbao, Benfica, Fenerbahce versus Atletico Madrid. They'll probably lose that. PSV v Bayern, Sporting v Milan, Frankfurt v Seville, and Fenerbahce v Bergamo Calcio, Atalanta. Okay, so we obviously didn't get through in the top 8 or whatever it is. We've got to play the knockout round. So the next episode will be both games against Juventus and probably Chelsea, because I don't think we've played them recently. We have got a Carabao Cup game or an FA Cup game against Southampton, but we'll sim that one, I think. There we go. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, get me a comment down below. What do you think of our transfer window? Do you think there's a position we need to strengthen? We have 236 million in our budget. What shall we do in the summer? We might get sacked because they want us to win the league and win the Champions League, so who knows. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.